What's up, everybody? Steve here with Geek Boulevard, back with another film review. I'm gonna give you my full thoughts and review on Beetlejuice, with spoilers that will come up later in the video, so you're safe for now, but feel free to skip that section in the timestamps that I've provided in the description right down below me if you do not want the plot spoiled for you. Beetlejuice is once again directed by Tim Burton. It is rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 44 minutes. 3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River after an unexpected family tragedy. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life soon gets turned upside down when her rebellious teenage daughter discovers a mysterious portal to the afterlife. When someone says Beetlejuice's name 3 times, the mischievous demon gleefully returns to unleash his very own brand of mayhem. I never would have thought that I would be living in a world where Beetlejuice would get a sequel, but yet here we are. I have positives and I have negatives, but mostly everything I'm gonna say here is positive. There's a lot that I liked about this movie. So let's start with our main cast of characters. The OGs, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, and the one and only Michael Keaton do not miss a beat here. I mean, they seamlessly just flow back into their characters just as easily as they did the first time that they portrayed them. Delia is still working on her out there, crazy, pretentious art pieces. Lydia has changed a little bit. She's evolved as a character as she's a mother now to a teenage daughter by the name of Astrid, played wonderfully by Jenna Ortega, who is no stranger to Tim Burton, having worked with him on the first season of Wednesday, which was renewed for a second season. I like seeing this side of Lydia, trying to understand her daughter better, just trying to get a grasp on motherhood, but also the both of them are kind of grieving for a loved one in their own way. So the film really portrays that sort of, tough transition in their lives. It was different, and I admired how this kind of different step in Lydia's life plays out, and Winona Ryder just did an absolutely amazing job. But of course, we have to talk about Michael Keaton, who makes his triumphant return as the title character. And as much as he loves working with Tim on a lot of his different projects, he loves playing Beetlejuice. He absolutely adores that character. He had so much fun playing him the first time. But like most people, he was a little hesitant to step back into those shoes, as he was worried the story wouldn't really be worth it, but he was convinced enough, it seems, and I'm sure the paycheck was pretty nice. But every time that he was on screen, he was just hamming it up and just really enjoying that spotlight, and rightly so. I couldn't praise him enough. I think it's safe to assume that these films wouldn't be nearly as successful if it wasn't for his performance. I think probably my favorite scene with him, and arguably the grossest scene in the movie, I might add, is when he's pretending to be a therapist. It was featured in the trailer. There's some of it in there, but obviously there's a lot more to that scene that you haven't seen, so I won't spoil that for you. I think you should see it for yourself and enjoy it. It was funny, it was gross, I loved it. We also have some new additions to the cast, as I said, Jenna Ortega, as well as Justin Theroux, who plays Lydia's boyfriend, Rory. He's, I guess the words I'm looking for are entertainingly infuriating. He's this type of toxic guy that tries to relate to Lydia's trauma and kind of make her feel that they're both going through it together, when really they're not. It's just her, but he tries to make her feel bad. It's a very toxic relationship that they're both in, but he does it to a comedic effect, and he just comes off as just a big douchebag, but he does it in a very funny way. Willem Dafoe turns in a fun performance as well as Wolf Jackson, an actor playing a cop who died on set of one of his films and is now a cop in the afterlife, which is kind of ironic. Although he keeps being reminded by his assistant that he's just an actor, so he's a little full of himself at times, but it was fun seeing him and Keaton kind of bounce off each other as they do share some screen time together, so that was fun. And I'm also convinced that Willem Dafoe just shows up on movie sets and, hey, I'm gonna play this character, is that cool with you? And I'm sure Tim Burton was like, yeah, go for it. And I'm pretty sure they just let the camera roll and Willem Dafoe just did whatever he wanted. And Monica Bellucci appears as Beetlejuice's ex-wife, Dolores, who, despite, you know, liking her design, I just felt as a character, Dolores was very wasted. The whole movie, she's just trying to hunt down Beetlejuice. She's not in it a whole lot, so I forgot about her quite a bit and just found myself wanting to get to the other characters as I was having a much better time with them. So that's one of my negatives. But outside of the cast, major props to everyone else on the production team, especially to Danny Elfman, who comes back to score, and it's delightfully eerie and wonderful to hear that iconic theme song in the opening credits for sure. I had a big grin on my face in the opening shot. I can't really recall the score necessarily taking any big swings. I mean, there were some licensed songs that were featured that I thought were very smartly used, so I enjoyed those bits. But I don't know if the score really needed to be changed that much. I mean, I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Maybe there were some moments where it did take some big swings, but I was so focused on just the movie itself and what was going on that I probably should have been paying attention to the score a little bit as well. So that's on me. But the score is great. It's Danny Elfman. What more do you need? Also, the set design, the special effects when CGI was used, it all worked really well. But there's definitely more of a focus on practical rather than visual, despite the increase in budget. So I was really happy to see the more practical special effects used as opposed to CGI. Now, there's one more newcomer to the cast by the name of Arthur Conti, who plays Jeremy, a love interest for Astrid. She meets him early on, and there's a little romance that starts, you know, sparking between them. But there's a secret about him that I will delve into. So that is your warning that spoilers abound from this moment on until I get to my final score. So once again, if you do not want to be spoiled, go ahead and skip to my final score. This is your final warning. So Jeremy reveals to Astrid after they share a nice little kiss that he's actually a ghost. Astrid can see him, but no one else can, so it seems she has her mom's abilities as well. Now Astrid, she makes it very clear that she's a hard skeptic of the supernatural. Her mom basically sold out and banked on her skills and got rich off of them, which led somewhat to the rift between them. She just kept thinking, oh, this is just all bullshit. But also her father, Lydia's husband, passed away, so the grief also kind of drove an even bigger wedge between them, as Lydia never really wanted to talk about him when Astrid always wanted to. Now, this is an important detail, as Jeremy tells Astrid that he wants to be with her but needs her help in coming back to the real world, because obviously a living person and a ghost can't really be in love. It doesn't exactly work. And if she helps him, she'll be able to see her dad again. Jeremy has a copy of the recently deceased book from the first film and has her recite an incantation to allow her to pass into the afterlife with him. Well, little sweet Jeremy turns out is actually not just a ghost, but he's also a murderer who killed his parents and fell out of his treehouse trying to escape from the police and broke his neck. So he tricked Lydia into trapping herself in the afterlife while he tries to become human again. And Lydia finds out about this and makes a deal with Beetlejuice to free her. Now, Astrid's choice to help Jeremy kind of bothered me a little bit, as she's pretty pragmatic and a major skeptic, and despite seeing a ghost and not really able to wrap her brain around it, why would you repeat some incantation that you don't really know what it does in the first place? If anything, I would think all of that shit would just make her more weary to help him, as none of this stuff makes any sense, and I'm sure her brain's red flags are all going up at the same time. Hey, I get to see my dad again, so sure, I'll be your ticket back to the real world so you can possibly murder other people. Why not? It just seemed like a complete 180 for her character, because her personality was very evident in giving off, I don't like you, I don't trust this, I don't trust that, but then she easily just falls victim to this type of trick. It just seems kind of weird to me. Okay, after all of that, I'm going to give Beetlejuice Beetlejuice a score of 4 out of 5. It is a very entertaining, darkly comical follow-up to the hit original with outstanding set design and another great score from frequent collaborator Danny Elfman. The OG cast never misses a beat, and Michael Keaton is a total scene stealer. Newcomers such as Jenna Ortega, Willem Dafoe, and Justin Theroux add some fresh blood to the story, with the only negatives being Jenna's character making a choice that seems to go against her character's personality, and Monica Bellucci's character being a complete waste. Now, I want to know what you guys thought of this sequel? Did it deliver? Is it better than the original? Have you seen the original? Where would you rank it on your list of Tim Burton movies? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below, and don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell icon so you can always be notified when my next review or reaction drops. Thank you for watching, guys, and until next time, keep it classy and keep it geeky.
What the f? Thank you all for coming to this special occasion, but right now with like a little privacy.